1400 meters in the opener. And away they go from the 1400 meter marker, Namibsrus, towards the back end of the field. Quinabi head up in the air the first 200 meters, so too Aditi and Forged in Ice. With the red cap around them is going to settle the deal early on. Forged in Ice and Rachel Venica now go on by a length and a half. Quinabi towards the outside, tons of fun. Aditi the orange silks towards the inside. Umgani, the white spots on the body. Ronnie's choices around them as they go past the 800 meter zone. Duchess of Normandy's about to come under the drive. Fashion Enigma's in the yellow. Nabibs is the trailer and racing about 7 to 8 lengths off. Forged in Ice as they're about to leave the turn behind them, 600 to go. Aditi moves up powerfully towards the inside, the orange silks. Tons of fun calling for lifelines. Quinabi's going to hook to the right hand side. Umgani towards the inside. Forged in Ice at the 400 meter marker, the inside by a length. Aditi down the centre. Quinabi's 3 lengths away but hasn't got the stick just yet. Forged in Ice being kept together. Quinabi is now starting to throw down a big challenge, but still got 2 lengths to make up at the 200. Forged in Ice with a healthy 2.5 length advantage. Quinabi is running on, but it's all over. Forged in Ice, not for the catching. Quinabi will be second, Aditi third, and then came Fashion Enigma. Number 10, Forged in Ice. Rachel Venica decided to pick things up from the outside draw, and when they swung for home, pinched a break on them. Aditi tried to move up. Quinabi was staying up until about the 150, but that's when Forged in Ice, the What a Winter for the Michael Roberts camp and the Johnsons, some of you stud, wins by about 3. Quinabi, also in the red and white silk, second. Aditi's third. Travelled well up until the 400. Came under fire. Fashion Enigma. Forged in Ice kept towards the inside. Quinabi hadn't been asked too much, and now the rider goes for the stick. You'll see Serena Moodley gets the whip in the right hand. Forged in Ice, Rachel Venica still just punching away hands and heels and showing Forged in Ice the stick right-handed over the last 100 meters. And this 4-year-old daughter of What a Winter starts to build stronger and stronger the last 100. Just when Quinabi and Aditi try to apply pressure, Forged in Ice found a lot more the last 100 meters. Back to the studio.
Well, the top one has arrived for backers of the favourite, number 10, Forged in Ice. Well done to Summer View stud, Mr. and Mrs. Nick Johnson with his daughter of What a Winter, Michael Roberts teaming up with Rachel Venica, and the gentleman that takes care of this filly. He's been waiting, his filly's been running well. When I'm going to be getting that 1,000 rand, he was asking himself. Well, Younger, it is today, my man. You've got your 1,000 rand today, my brother. She's been consistent, you've been rewarded. Well done to you. Well done to Younger, 1,000 rand, Hollywoodbets and Goal Circum. Rachel Venica will be the first jock we chat to, apprentice these days still. We'll chat to, and it's a nice start for her. A consistent filly who I was very glad the positive ride that you gave her from the draw firstly.
Yes, she's been knocking on the door for a while now, and I decided today's the right day to just go forward and use her stride, and it worked out in our favour.
All due respect to the opposition, that was the right move because she's got natural gate speed.
Yes, she really does, and a very nice cruising speed where she's not utilising herself too much, and she quickened up well.
Were there any nerves down the lane that she's going to stop or not go on with it, or you were just always going so smooth?
She was giving me such a good ride. I felt quite confident on her.
Well, these colours now are Mr. and Mrs. Nick Johnson. You've been used to the other colours of Mr. Johnson. What about these colours?
Yes, these are very special to have both Mr. and Mrs. Johnson in this filly. I can't thank them enough for the support. Mr. Johnson is now sponsoring me, so I thank him so much for that. And it's also very special, you know, old man Mr. Benji Johnson was a big player in getting women into this industry. And it's so special to be able to have a winner in these colours.
Okay, you got one on the board. You are one to follow. Where can you help us later on?
Yes, most of my rides are fairly competitive, but I think my next best will be probably our Emily.
Thanks for that, Rachel. All the best for the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you, and I must say, as usual, a massive thanks to Mr. Roberts. Well done with this filly. He's done a fantastic job. And to the Barrington Stables back home, well done.
Lovely. That is Rachel Vinica. I think the first thing I'm going to speak to Michael about is Mr. Benji Johnson, because I would presume, from your riding days, early riding days, I would presume you would have been introduced to him.
Yes, this is very special, and it's very nice to see his colours back on the track. You know, Mr. Benji Johnson was a very special person in racing, and his knowledge of racing and his service to racing was, you couldn't compare it. I mean, he loved the academy, the kids, and everything else, and his help was, was unmeasurable, really. And I'm so happy that Nick has brought the colours back, for him and Celeste, his wife. And it's a lovely, but emotional.
The one thing that stands out, beside him being a gentleman of the turf, who I'm sure there'll be very few, if nobody will argue, is his immaculate dressing.
Oh, very much so. Every meeting, I've never seen him, without a tie on, and very straight person, and always, very helpful. We need advice from him, which I appreciate, throughout my life. But like you say, always the old school, tie and jacket.
Yep, I was a light here, as I say, in front of him, but he always came up to me and said, "How do you do?" He would be the first one to approach.
Yeah, very much so, and always the same, used to come in a parading before the first race on the bench, and then come up and we'd discuss the day's meeting and have a few bets together. That's what I miss, with him not being here, to be honest with you.
Okay, you got this filly to win now. She was rewarded.
Yes, I want to say a big thank you to to Nick and Celeste. As I said, she's got ability, and the runs she's been beaten, it wasn't through the lack of ability. It's just she was weak, and and I said to Nick that this filly, if she strengthened up, I think she could be, she could win us a few more races. I mean, she's not going to go to Hollywood, but she could win races. And the last couple of weeks, I could see it. She's changed a bit. I changed a few things at home with her, and she's strengthened up. I mean, to me, she was the best filly in the race.
Yes.
I wasn't worried about the draw because she got natural gate speed. And Rachel rode it beautiful. I said, listen, if they start pulling around, go sit in front, and because you're the best horse in the race. And she won like I thought, she would have actually.
Okay, Rachel likes our Emily, but she rides a few others for you as well. Where else can we follow Michael Roberts today?
Well, I got Lady Catherine's. I don't know how to weigh up the form. It's the first time she's run
Against
with me
the boys.
Against the boys. So I mean, look, there's a hot favourite in the race. He's a smart horse. I know. He beat Altissimo, which I mean, really speaking, was one of my best horses.
Yes.
And if she can get her acts together, she must have a squeak. But
She loves the surface, sir.
that's what I was going to say to you. A big plus is the Polly. Polly 1,000 meters. She's pretty good on that.
So, all the best for the new season. Now, I didn't get to chat to you and wish everybody on air, but all the best for the new season. I mean, you had a fair 2021, 2022. It was fair for your yard.
Probably one of my best seasons I've had. We had a lot of winners, and the horses were healthy, which was important. And we started off well. So we're hoping for the best. And I just want to say, well done to the breeders of this filly. Some of you stud, they're always in contact, want to know how the filly is doing. And I think we can do something else with her.
Please, I'll give our best to Mr. and Mrs. Johnson for firstly keeping the colours in racing these famous silks of the late Mr. Benji Johnson, and give them our best.
I will do that. Thank you. Thank
Well done. Michael Roberts here, race number 1, and it is one more word, Michael.
Yeah, sorry, I nearly forgot the most important thing.
Yes.
It's my wife Verna's birthday today.
Hey.
Happy birthday! And I'm sorry I'm not at home with you, but this one is for you.
Yeah, and Carolyn's not at home as well. She's on course with Dad. Verna Roberts, happy birthday to you, ma'am. He nearly forgot. Carolyn reminded him. All the best today, Verna. Okay, race number 1 is done and dusted. Up next will be race number 2, the start of the place accumulator, and the time to jot down there will be 13:05, 1.